I'm going to share with you today the number one tool that I used and still use to get sober and to become emotionally sober. My name is Angela Donnell. I'm a Jay Shetty certified coach, and I also am a sober person. I got sober finally in 2023 after about a solid year of putting an effort towards becoming sober. I didn't realize that I didn't know what I didn't know. And so basically, the first year was about gathering data and really coming to understand what it takes to become sober because I just didn't know. And so today I want to share with you the number one tool that I use in order to keep me emotionally balanced. And it is something that I adopted back in 2023 and I will continue to do daily for the rest of my life. There are so many benefits to this tool. And once I tell you, you're going to say, that was such a simple, easy tool. Yes, it is. Anybody can do it. It doesn't take barely any time. It doesn't cost you anything. And it's something that you can fall back on every single time you need it. And like I said, I would just encourage you to continue to have a daily habit of it, regardless of what is happening in your life. You ready to find out what the tool is? The tool is simply journaling. Journaling. That's all you need is a pen and a notebook. I like a bigger one. I like to write quite a bit, but what the heck do you write in the journal? How do you get sober from journaling? Well, let me explain this to you. When you're attempting to become sober, there is a lot going on in your head. There is a lot of trial and error going on for starters. There's a lot of failures. There's a lot of lack of belief. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of questions. There is just a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions. And what happens if we don't get them out? They just harbor inside of us and they stay there and we tend to feel terrible. One of the things that I found when I started a journaling practice was that no matter what was going on in my life, I would write about it. So as I'm writing about what's happening in my life, I'm often coming to realizations in the writing process, having my aha moments, figuring things out, making emotional sense of the problems in my day-to-day life. And this is the magic of journaling. People always used to tell me to journal back in the day, and I didn't want any part of it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was I just thought, I don't have energy to do it. I don't want to sit and write. And, I'd come up with any excuse that I could just to avoid the idea of journaling. But once I started doing it, after about 2 weeks, I started to realize that there was a real release that came from that activity. Part of the thing about sobriety is why we drink or why we are using substances in the first place is because we're looking for a release of something. So having this as a replacement tool has been game changing for me. Every morning I sit down and I just write. There's no writer's block because there's no rules around what you can write about. I just write about what's happening in my day-to-day life, what kinds of emotions I'm experiencing, and how I'm feeling about what's taking place in my life. And every day I just continue on. The really cool thing though too about journaling, especially if you're going through a major life transition, is that you have a record of where you were at. Just the other day, I was able to pull out my journal from a year ago today, and it was really cool to see what I wrote because I was able to see just how far I'd come in a year. What was I thinking about on February 6, 2023? Well, I could go back and look at that. What was I thinking about February 6, 2024? I've got that as well. So it's really cool to track your journey. You don't have to commit to, a half an hour writing practice or anything like that. You can write a gratitude list. You can write what's going on in your day. You could write out some goals. You could write out about something negative that happened just to move through the emotions. It's just a process of moving through something. So if you are trying to get sober or you're trying to do anything big in your life, start writing about it. I encourage you to start a journal practice today and just commit 10 minutes every single day. Don't quit, and it will change your life. And if you liked this video, subscribe to my page, and I'll see you on the next one.